But here, then we have the modes, cardinal signs, cardinal, fixed, mutable. The first sign of each season sets the theme for the season. That's where it came from. The first sign in the season is the stamp of the season. The season comes in with that energy. So the fire energy of spring, how hot it is, how warm it is at springtime, that's the push of Aries coming in. That's the beginning of the warmth coming back. As that warmth comes back, it'll get concentrated in the earth, it'll get dissipated through the air. So you have 1, 2, 3 effect for each season. Again, number logic, but we can follow it. It's easy enough to see. But the cardinal, they don't get along with each other, but they're the first driving. So if you change hemispheres, Aries becomes the Libra. Still cardinal, still pushy. But a different style, a different feeling, a different way you would guide somebody to what would make them happy or not, what would be fulfillment or not. Okay, so then you have the fixed signs, the bull, the lion, the eagle, and the angel. The four on the throne of God, around the throne of God. But this is the fixed signs. They concentrate energy. The heat of the springtime is concentrated in the earth of Taurus, and things start growing or coming up. The water of Cancer, which is watering the plants in the fields, gets warmed by Leo, and we get our harvest in Virgo. The cold air of Libra, the temperature of Libra gets affected by the dampness of Scorpio. Whether it's wet, whether it's snow, whatever it's coming, it's dying at the end of the year. Oh, geez, we're in trouble now. Like here it is. We better kill an animal because I didn't do the harvest. So there you got, and then it's ended by the multiple mutable fire. By the time it's near the solstice, you're running around trying to get any wood, any fire you can, so you're getting a little bit more to buffer yourself for the winter. Normal, seasonal things. So, and then Aquarius, you have the cold earth, then the colder air, the two winters, the depth of winter, and then it starts to warm up a little bit, and you get some water running, and it's that life starts flowing a little bit, and any way it comes, you're going to go out and watch it. Or you're going to relate to, I believe we're getting out of here. Okay, so this is the modes. So there's the mutable cross. So you can get into, there's a lot of great metaphysical books, theosophical material on the great crosses, and if you're born on one cross or another, and what mystical concepts are tied into it. There's a lot of religious perception based on these concepts of cross and how great ages and how things happen and how these things come through for periods of time. One of the uses of the language. From a simple day-to-day living of just pulling the weeds, getting back for dinner, hopefully, or whatever, that might seem a little, those high-minded crosses may seem a little bit up there, a little bit hoity-toity to be thinking all these big things when you got to take care of day-to-day living. So then you got the elements, the 4 elements. So interestingly, you have the 3 for each cardinal sign. There's one of each element, and they don't get along because they're all pushing, or they're all fixed, or they're all mutable. Here, because you have the 3 elements, one of each mode, angular, fixed, and succeeding, they get along more or less because they're both into fire, into energy. So fire signs, red, yellow, blue, primary colors, fire signs. It's active. They want to be active. They have that in common. I want to push to be active. I want to be best to be active. I want to do everything. It's still on that same mode, or in that same element. Same with Libra, Gemini, Libra, for the air, the secondary colors. Colors follow how to make colors follows exactly these patterns of how light and dark works and how you mix them. But the air signs one is pushing ideas. Libra, you marry Libra, they're doing the thinking for you. They're planning everything. Aren't you coming with me? Why aren't you doing this? Where are you? How come? I planned this. I'm a Libra. I couldn't put up with me. But it's still being me. So then you have the Aquarius who knows everything. I know so-so, you know so-so, I know so-so, I know this. You get the knowledge, information, changing. You have the Gemini. Anything's interesting. Let's take any twist at this. Look at this anyway. It has the most diversified air. So these are the communicative air signs. They have fire, then air. Then you get the water signs. The moody water, the emotion, the pushy Cancer water. My mood, my feeling. You ate my last piece of pie. You took my last beer. I remember that for the next 40 years when you took my last beer. It was the only one in the fridge. Like Cancer. Scorpio doesn't do that. You took my last beer, die. But it has still, these are water signs are emotional, judgmental. They take things personally. As soon as you say don't take it personal, it's too late. It's already in there. And then the Pisces is all the different pockets. I'm this way with one person, I feel this way with another person. They have all the different pockets of reality, all the different streams and little streamlets to build up the river to end up going to the ocean being nothing anyways. But the ocean. But every pocket's so different than each other. The only way you get to know Pisces, bring them all in the same, bring all the friends together and start comparing notes. They're like that with you. Never be like that with me. Oh no, that's not the same person. What's that? Different with every person. So we had Brian Mulrooney, Sun and Moon in Pisces. Different face for everybody. Different pockets of reality. Still had a charm to it, still had an understanding to it, a view to it. But to some people that was wonderful, to other people it was horrible. So any extreme in nature is not a healthy thing. So then you have the Earth sign, the down-to-earth, practical, driving, pushy Capricorn. I want to be secure when I'm older. I want to be practical. I want to have security. I want to have money. I like to be comfortable. I like to be healthy. This is it. This isn't good enough. Practical. A lot of yogis are the Capricorns. Just healthy. Taurus, fixed earth. It's got to be nice or it's not. If it's not Body Shop, if it's not 100% cotton, if it's not, don't get me a candy bar from the dollar store. Get something nice, up it a bit, So, it's springtime. Let's enjoy it, right? And then Virgo is like, oh, I want to have fun, but there's work to be done. There's the weeds. If I don't take care of that, this is done. If I don't take care of this, is going to be done. So we have all kinds of stories of the signs. So these, the cardinal and the modes and the elements are where most of astrology, on a popular level, will get worked. Everybody works with the modes. They make sense. You can relate to them, and you can see. Even if you just use any one of these things, you can get information. That's the beauty of astrology. So there's people, but it doesn't mean it's the only thing. It doesn't mean there's not all these different layers of meaning within it. But my point in this is even the elements are based partly on even the elements and the modes are based on the seasonal placements and the seasonal relationships. From this, the masculine signs are that fire and air. Projective masculine signs. Now, feminine signs, reflective signs. Very observable, very simple thing, one after the other, yin yang. Projective, Taurus is a reflective sign. Measure me, give me, pay me. How much, whatever. Like Aries is not. Gemini is not. Cancer is. You go through it and you start thinking, yeah, it's there. Projective, reflective. Again, this is still built up on starting from the 4 seasons, dividing them in 3, dividing them in 4, going one after the other. It's still a numerological logic. I love numbers, but there's a distinction between what numbers can do and whether it's hot or cold out, whether you're freezing or not freezing, whether it's wet or not. There's a difference. Experientially. Then the rulerships. So the rulerships, which is really primary in understanding Southern Hemisphere Zodiac, the rulerships are based on the seasons. Absolutely. The sun and moon, the moon rules Cancer and the sun rules the summertime, the warmest, most nurturing, warmest, most fun time of the year, period. Saturn rules Capricorn and Aquarius, the coldest, darkest, cold earth, cold air, the coldest time of the year, most miserable time to live through. Most miserable time to be born at. Oh, we got a kid that's coming in December, oh great. Or he's coming in January, oh great. Just when we're depressed anyways, well, may as well get it all over with. So, this is going to be work. But this light half, the sun and moon ruling Cancer and Leo, and the Saturn ruling, I used to use the outer planets. But that goes into the number thing of 12 signs, there's got to be 12 rulers. And when it settles down, the planets you see are the natural perspective. We see the light of them. We're in a more conscious relationship. They're the rulerships, and there's a masculine and feminine rulership of each planet. So you have Mercury, the free thinker, and the discriminating thinker in Gemini and Virgo. You have the masculine and feminine Mercury. It's a beautiful poetry. You have Venus, the Taurus, and the Libra, the having and the sharing. It's a very beautiful quality of values. Then you have Mars impulse, and and Mars desire. Desire usually involves other people. So Aries just do my own thing. Scorpio, it's I want you. You're meant for me. You go or you die. We're here. You're mine forever. Where were you? Who were you talking to? Why did you look at that person? What are you thinking? You start to see, but it's about action. Who's doing it? Who's trustworthy? Who's not? Who's noble? Who's courageous? For Aries, it's who's courageous. For Scorpio, who's trustworthy? Whose energy can you trust? So, but there's a very natural thing as it takes more action. You have action of spring, you have the end of the seasons, where you have the harvest or you're slaughtering whatever it's going to be to get through the winter. So you have these are very active oriented times. Even though it's the end of the fall, you have to be active to get by. It's very Mars ruled. Then Jupiter is the running around doing whatever's left. The running around at the end of the winter, you're coming into Pisces. It's not springtime. You're not going out, but you're going to try and find some way to get something out. I can't just stay here with all these Capricorns and Aquarians, Saturn stuff. I got to get some adventure somewhere. So they're going to go looking out for some adventure, even in the storm. And in Sag, it's the end of the winter. Well, let's go around and do some things anyways. It's party time to build up to Christmas or whatever, or holidays. Let's buy some presents. Let's get around with doing things before it really gets cold. But it has what are we looking for? Where are we? This is what we got. This is the season we got. Well, boy, we're going to have a difficult winter. Or we got it all set up. We're going to have easy winter. You have that Jupiter overview. Then you have the Saturn ruling the Capricorn. And of course, in the wintertime, masculine and feminine Capricorn. Ambitious. Not that women drive their husbands to be more ambitious than they want to be necessarily. But occasionally it's been known to happen. Then the Saturn Aquarius guys think they know what they know, and this is the plan and this is where it is, and don't expect me to change it. You're stupid if you're not going along with it. Now I use stupid a lot as a word, and I'm corrected by my grandkids. That's a bad word. You can't say stupid. And I try to wax that well, and I use another bad word. So now language is being cut and not as creatively used because we're in all of the nighttime greater times. All the planets are there and everybody's watching what everyone else is saying. And there's not the same freedom there used to be 50, 60 years ago. What should I say? Where's Lenny Bruce when you need him? But, okay, so, and the detriments are just in the opposite. The outer planets really were brought in. I tend to see Uranus as the unions to the government. Neptune is a higher octave to Jupiter, and Pluto a higher octave to Mars. But I don't give them rulerships. If you say Neptune rules Pisces, all Pisces are drunk and spaced out, it's too extreme. It's enough that Jupiter rules it and they have the puzzle to understand or to believe. It's enough. If all Scorpios have Pluto, and you're setting up an intimidation and a negative factor that's disproportionate. It's enough to be courageous, strong, trustworthy. And so and to say all Aquarians are Uranian. You ever married one? They got their plan, they got their scheme, they got their thinking, they're strategic, they want respect for their ideas. It's almost contrary, a fixed sign to be, I got to change everything. Oh, just leave for school, just go and take off. You're not doing the Aquarian a favor. So it's extreme. It's not that there's not an element of unions in government, but that's come into the mathematical assumption that there's got to be 12 signs, 12 rulers. So I started with that and I backed up slowly. After about 20 years, so I sort of switched over more to the regular rulership. And then you got Saturn ruling things. Then you got responsible advice. Okay, so this is basically the modality. Then the keywords, the other factor, the last of the 8 factors of signs, they're just basically statements of the planet ruling the sign. I feel, I will, I think, I analyze, I have, I balance, I am, I desire, I believe, I understand, I use, and I know. So the keywords are just basically affirmations of the planet that rules the sign. So the rulership's a very, very significant factor, because if you're going to change if the season changes, and it's actually Pisces in the southern hemisphere now, it's the end of winter coming to spring. Okay, it's Jupiter ruled, not Mercury ruled. And the position of that rulership, that Jupiter guidance, is the way to guide the Pisces. The Mercury is the way to guide the Virgo. And the position in the chart really changes the loyalties between the planets in a Southern Hemisphere chart.